be licensed in that area. And the people in the western 2/3 of the state, they didn't have anybody out there. So now we're working with all the districts and recruiting teachers who already live out in western Kansas or wherever, in Oakley or Colby or something, their own teachers, and arranging for them to get training to be teachers of the blind, so that those kids had the same advantages as the kids here who have the school close to them. So we're going around and trying to be that expert, that person who can help them develop a good vision program. And it's been successful, but we still have a lot of work to do. And we still are the place, if there's a child who has several disabilities in addition to blindness, a child who's autistic and blind, we're still the person or the place that they will send students. And our objective is to figure out a program that works with that child, maybe even train their paraprofessionals, and then send the child back with help and support to that district, so that they will be able to educate their own children, but with the knowledge of how to reach that student. And this has been going on for a while, but it's really doing well and taking off at this point. I can't imagine what would have been in the paper about.
It was positive, whatever it was.
Whatever. Well, that's always good to hear.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Coleman?
This is a little different, but I love Christmas. I can't hear too much Christmas music. It can't start too early for me. I love the programs at church with the children. I like to see children say a speech when they are 4 or 5 years old. You know, that's when some of them get up there and cry. And we applaud them and say, oh, that was nice. Because, you know, that's where they learn.
That's right.
The entertainers, the black ones especially, grew up learning to sing and play in the church. Our black entertainers mainly came, Aretha Franklin's father was a minister, I believe. So I love Christmas. And now they're not going to have Handel's Messiah anymore after this year. I read that. What happens to the budget that the fine arts that there aren't provisions for them? I hate that. That's terrible.
Well, come right around. Help yourself. Good to see you. Let me say, y'all help yourself to the food here before it get cold. We're good to see you. I told you where they're not having Handle Messiah, but for those who are not aware, every year Centennial United Methodist Church, which is at 19th and Woodland, they have the Handle Messiah every year, and they bring
Yes,
a
we
guest
go every
conductor.
year.
So for those who might want to go and take a look at it, it's great. You know, Ms. Coleman brings up a point where we wonder what happened, what's happening. With my age, I look around and say, what in the world's going on? I don't really understand everything, and maybe I don't think I want to understand everything. But oftentimes, our children mirror what they see. I'm going to relate a personal story, which if you ask, well, one of my daughters is deceased, but if you'd ask any three, what was their most memorable Christmas, they'd all say the same thing. If you ask my wife, you call her and say, what was your most memorable Christmas? She'd tell you the same thing. The same most memorable Christmas for us was 1968. All of us remember Harold Lewis. Okay, well, before he married Wanda, he had been married to his first wife, and she worked, we worked in the same place, H.W. Sewing Company. And she was a person who would go out in the community, and she had gone to Strawberry Hill it was St. John's Orphanage. And she came back and she said, Chester, there's, every year I go to take the kid out and bring him to my house for Christmas. There are 2 twins up there. And would you consider bringing them in your house for Christmas? And so my wife and I said, well, yeah, we'll consider, and we weren't making any money and didn't have anything. And so, well, she said, well, go take a look. So we went up there. What's now Strawberry Hill Museum used to be St. John's Orphanage. And we went up there, and these 2 twins, they came down and we introduced ourselves, and they were very cordial. Well, sitting at the top of the steps were 3 additional kids. And so we said, well, who are they? And he said, those are my brothers. And we said, we don't know if we can deal with this. So we left, went back home, and we asked our kids, what if we decide to bring in these 5 boys? Now, we've got 3 girls in the house, and keep them from the time, school was out, which was probably around December the 18th or 19th, until that's the first of the year. And they were so excited. And they said, let's do it. Well, you know what that means, don't you? You don't get anything for Christmas. Very little. Everything is cut back, so we don't care. So we had all of a sudden going for 3 girls, and for those out at that time lived at 1140 Roller, had really 2 bedrooms. We had taken a little sun porch at the back of the house and turned it into a 3rd bedroom. And we brought all those boys in. Lily took off from work because with 5 boys, by the time she finished cooking, for my kids who didn't eat very much, until cooking, pounds of bacon and all the milk and everything, when she finished cooking breakfast, she'd go right into dinner. She ate 3 meals a day. It meant something to those kids. We found out that the boys had never had a haircut. Some had never been into a barbershop. The oldest 2, the twins, hadn't been at a barbershop in 5 years. And I will never forget going to Jack Dickens. I remember Jack up on Bandera. Jack said, bring them in here, and I'll take care of them, Chester. He not only did this during Christmas, he did this for all the time they were growing up. Kenneth Eddie Lee Chow. Y'all remember Kenneth Eddie Lee Chow?
Yes.
The best bank robber we ever had in Kansas City. He was a good guy, one of my best friends. I went by Eddie's shop and said, Eddie, we need to see about getting some pants for these kids. He said, and I told him what to do. He said, shoot. He outfitted them, suits, whatever they needed. Of course, Eddie could put his hands for whatever he needed. But what got it was I went down to Douglas State Bank. And I had here people used to see me with these 3 girls, and all of a sudden they see me with 5 boys and 3 girls. I was in Douglas State Bank, and up walked Reverend C.A. Pugh. Now, Carol didn't knew Reverend Pugh. Now, Reverend Pugh was as conservative as you could find.
Yeah.
And he said, Chester, who are all these boys? Who are all these kids you got? I told him. He pulled out his billfold and gave me a $50 bill. Well, now, if you know Reverend Pugh, he gave me a $50 bill.
Wow.
And of course, we had our parents, and everybody had to chip in, and people just came and gave everything. So we said the time was up. We were part owners in the Hub bookstore, and so we had a Volkswagen van, and so we could get in a van and haul them every place. And the day we had to take them back was probably the most hurting thing that you could do. So we took them back, and all the way from 1140 Roller to the van, there was not a sound in that van. And we came back home, and everybody went in their own room and cried. Then we got the next morning and said, we're going to try to bring them into our home. And so we approached them, first the St. John's Orphanage and the state. They sent people out to see the house, whether or not it was adequate. And when they came out, they said, well, your house not even adequate for the That's slide roof used for a bedroom is not adequate. But we tried, and I often think of Carl Randolph Sr. And of course, I always say there should be a statue to that man in this town, but Carl said he heard about it. He said, Chester, I'll donate the time and I'll get somebody else and we'll put an addition on to the house. And there were people going that far. Then we were contacted by St. John's and they had read, I guess, it wasn't a will, but their mother had written that they were only supposed to be adopted by a Roman Catholic family. And there were two more girls who lived in Leavenworth who was older. And you remember there was a family that lived in Parkwood by the name of the Byers family. Okay, the Byers, remember the Byers? They were Roman Catholics, and the Byers took them in. And some remember the unfortunate incident that occurred with one of the sons on his way to school, and the limb fell and hit him and killed him, which was kind of a tragedy. But to this day, those boys, there are 4 of them live here, and 1 live out of the city. And to this day, we're in contact, and as far as my children are concerned, those are my brothers. This is probably the most memorable Christmas that we ever had. But my children talk, Karen will be home. Cynthia, for those who don't know, Cynthia is having some real serious medical problems now. She can't walk, but we'll get together with at least 2 of them when they get here, and we'll spend some time together. And I guess in saying this, I think Christmas we need maybe to look out, say what can we do to pull folks in. This changed these boys' whole life, and so we're just suggesting that we're not saying bring people into your home, but look at our children, and particularly the ones who we may even be afraid of, and say what can we do to do what we can, even if it's no more than say on Christmas, hello, you see them in your neighborhood, here's a toy. This not only, it affected our family more positively than to us than it probably did to them. I just wanted to say that years ago when I was on city council, I did the most memorable thing, and I wrote that in the paper. But that was probably, to me, I guess the spirit of Christmas. But I think one of the hooks is, well, I can't think of her name now, who urged us to do that. And I just wonder if we do that now. There's no St. John's orphanage. Do we do that now? When I think in terms of USD 500 has over 1,000 homeless children in the school system. 1,000 in our school system. That was unheard of when some of us who grew up here. So I don't mean to get no speaker. So this is Christmas. Let's be happy. Let's be happy for Christmas. Enjoy ourselves.
We happy.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So maybe Cliff need to turn some more music back on.
No, we needed to hear that.
Let me say, if I didn't say it was your fault, I said I was blaming you. Women will never be equal to men until they can walk down the street. I can't hurt you. With a bald head and a beer gut and still think they're sexy. Mr. Vest, and Miss Vest, how you manage to stay with him? You were over 40 years? Okay, he had a big sign up there.
40 years.
But he said he was going to retire before you.
He won't let me quit.
Huh?
He won't let me retire.
Well, he said he's going to retire first, so he's going to join this club that says,
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Folks, I'm really close. I'm thinking about closing the auto body shop.
You know what he said? He's practiced up. You know what he said one day? He said, I got a good watch and a good wife, and they're both working. So we're just kind of going around. Anybody want to say something about a memorable Christmas? Please feel free to do it. Mr. Best is a certain integral part that keeps us fired up when he comes to the meeting. So we, you know, behind every successful man, there's a surprise wife.
I gotta remember that. I've got to remember that. I've got to remember that.
Oh, now see, Reverend said, he said, I gotta remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Let me read some better understand. Behind every successful man is a woman. Behind the fall of a successful man is usually another woman.
That's cool.
I don't know if I'm gonna remember that.
You get that off the internet?
Yeah, that came out, my sister sent, my other sister lives in California, she sent me all this stuff.
Careful what you get on the internet.
Well,
That's Eartha Kitt. That's Eartha Kitt.
I have some health care.
Is she still alive?
She started out like really wanted to go at it, now he's smart enough remarks every day. He started to feel the need to set that I'm really thinking about closing the shop. But you know, I've been doing